Hi, it's Cheryl. Welcome to Homeridge Studio. I have 4 ideas to share with you today, and the theme is flowers. Number 1. This is a wall hanger, and here's how I made it. So the Dollar Tree has some new crafts items, and this is like a 3-piece wall art. They're kind of a heavier cardboard, and these were just absolutely stunning. So 3 of them came in a pack, and they were $1.25. And they have 3 different ones. They also have birds and butterflies and some different flowers. So I got a pack of those. I got the MDF board. I have the 2 little clips here. I have some ribbon. I actually swapped it out for different ribbon than that one. And then I have some flowers. Now, because I'm going to put, and I have the peel and stick paper from the Dollar Tree. Because I'm going to put the paper on that board, I am sanding. I took my finger sander and I just sanded most of that glitter off, and then I wiped it down so it'll stick better. And now I want the grain to go down. And so I'm measuring it out here, and I'm going to cut it out. You'll see what I'm doing in a second. I'm making this slightly bigger because I always make it bigger. I've been burned too many times because a lot of the Dollar Tree pieces and other pieces for that matter are not always straight. A lot of times they're crooked. So I always make my cutouts a little bit bigger because you can always cut it off. And you see how the grain is going down? That's why I cut it like that. Now I'm just going to piece it together. I did overlap it ever so slightly. You cannot even tell. It took me a couple times to try to get this to go on there the right way because the board was crooked. And now I'm just cutting off the extra. And I lost my little blade there. The screw came out. I found it. I was able to fix it. I have these markers. They're from Ross. There's 36 of them. They are acrylic markers with a dual tip. One side is thin and then the other side is thicker. And this really nice plastic case. 36 of them for $12.99. And again, they are acrylic, and I absolutely love these. This is the first time I'm using them. So I'm going to use the black one. And then while we're on the marker kick, I just wanted to show you, I'm not using these, but I picked these fabric markers up. $1.25 from the Dollar Tree. They're Primart marker. They're a dual side, again, fabric markers. They have the pastel colors, and then they have the primary colors, are the ones that I picked up. So now I'm going along here with a ruler in my acrylic marker in the color black, and I'm making a border around both of these pieces, or both of these cardboard pictures. I used the dark purple and the light purple one, and the yellow one I'm going to use later in a different project. So I have these clips. I took these off of those birds that you get like from the Dollar Tree or, wherever, the little fake birds. I have a bunch of them, so I thought I'm going to use them to hang these on there. So I just kind of tried to clip off as much of that bottom piece that was sticking out. There was plastic on it and then a metal piece, and I just pushed the metal piece down so it made it flat. And I'm kind of eyeballing it here, and I'm just using hot glue to glue this on. If you do make something like this, make sure that you use a better, stronger glue. I'm just using hot glue for the purpose of this video. Plus, I'm just going to be clipping these pictures on there. Now, if you do put this outside, or not even outside, if you want to protect it, the Dollar Tree sells that clear contact paper. That's what I would do. I would cut it out, and I would protect all of this with that. Then I was looking at this and I thought, it needs to say welcome or home or something like that. So I had this metal piece that says welcome in my stash. And again, use a more permanent glue. I'm just putting hot glue on this. If you do make this, I would put the word on before you put the little clips on there. I didn't plan on putting the word on there until the last minute. So that's why I'm doing this. And so I have the beads here from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to make a beaded handle, or hanger, I should say. And I am measuring it here. And I'm going to hot glue this on the back, and I'm going to put some tape on it as well. Okay, I'm showing you just different variations of ribbon. So I did end up using this black ribbon instead of the polka dot and the other ones, but I just wanted to show you some different options. If you have a Kirkland's by you, or a, what's the other store? A Sam's Club. They have some really beautiful ribbon, and you can get it for, like, I think Sam's Club, I think, was either $6.99 or $8.99, and I believe that Costco was $10.99, but you get a ton, I mean, a ton of it, and they had probably 10 to 15 different kinds that you could choose from. So I just made an awareness bow with this, as you saw, and I dovetailed the ends. And then I glued it up there on the side, and then I put, there were like little holes in there, like in the butterfly, and then, I don't know, in the W, I think there were little holes where you could like hang, you know, string or something out of that. And I just took some hot glue and I dolloped it in there, and I will show you why in a second. So now I have just some picks, some purple and green and yellow little teeny, not picks, little teeny pieces in my stash. And I'm just putting some on there. I wanted some wispy ones because these flowers look very wispy. So I just took a dark gray marker, the acrylic marker, and the hot glue is dry, and I just colored it in. You really can't tell, or it looks kind of like it's nailed on there, so I think it turned out really cool. But yeah, I really like this piece, and you know, check out the Dollar Tree. They're getting some really good stuff in there. I went there the other day and I got a whole bunch of, not a whole bunch, but I got a couple bags full of new stuff, like these cardboard pictures. They're amazing, and you can do so much with them. Okay, number 2. This is another wall hanger. And here's how I made it. I have this board from the Dollar Tree. And then I have some blue paint. I did not use the aquamarine acrylic paint. I just used the pool light blue. And I don't know where I got this, but it was 99 cents. It's like a really light colored jute. And then I'm sure you recognize these. They're the little flowers from the Dollar Tree. And I'm showing you I have an angle brush because I don't want to touch that frame at all on the inside. And I have my staple remover, and I'm removing the hanger, and I have my little scraper thing, and I'm removing the sticker from the back because I'm trying to finish all of my projects from beginning to end and not skimping on the back. And so I painted the whole inside of the pool blue, and that is the Waverly chalk paint. And then I have some, the, oh, what do you call it? It's not Waverly. It's, It's the antique wax. That's what it is. Waverly has it too. It's the same thing. So I just went around with a baby wipe and I stained the frame, and now I'm just going to kind of scuff it up a little bit. And now I have glass Mod Podge because I want it to be glossy. And then I just stapled a twine on the back. This project is so easy. It didn't take very long at all. And now I'm kind of just manipulating these pieces here. And I thought that these were kind of more like dried flowers or paper flowers. They're spongy. I don't know what you call them. I can't think of the words today. But yeah, that kind of surprised me. And I have a few of these too. I think I have 2 or 3 more of these. So I don't know. I've had them for a couple years. This is the first time I'm using them. So I took the twine and I wrapped it around the bottom, and now I'm just hot gluing it. I pulled the top one off because I don't want it to be straight up and down. I want it to be facing me. You'll see in a second how I do this. And I'm just going to hot glue this on here. I was being kind of picky how these laid on here, so I had to kind of hot glue them down where they touched. And then I just glued that one on. Instead of it sticking straight up off of the pick, I just glued it straight on top of it. Now I have this paper. I've had it for a while. It's decoupage paper, and this is from Sonnet's Maker's Box. I've had it for like a year. It's really pretty. And these are just kind of, I don't know what you call it. I know there's a term for it. They're just words that are kind of blurred in onto the decoupage paper. And I took my little fancy shears here and cut out kind of a choppy line around the whole thing. See what I mean? I can't talk today, you guys. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, now I am just going to put Mod Podge it on here. And I'm using the glossy Mod Podge too. And yeah, I think this turned out super cute, super easy, very, very, very easy to make. And like I said, I'm trying to use up my stuff that I've had for a long time. But also I'm buying new stuff because the Dollar Tree has some really cool new stuff. But by the way, did you know their flowers are $1.75? Oh, their stems are $1.75. And a lot of their things these days are $1.50 now. So I was kind of a little upset about that, but what can you do? They're still cheaper than most stores, usually. Anyway, number 3. This is a tin can. And I have that paper that I used on my previous project. I have some Mod Podge, and I have this hazelnut chalk paint. Yes, it's kind of thick and goopy. Had it for a while. So I mixed the Mod Podge in with that because I'm going to paint the tin can here. And I want it to stick on there. And I'm painting it because I'm going to put the decoupage paper on top of it, and I don't want to be able to see through it. So I painted the whole thing, and then I went down 1 inch on the inside of it as well, and I painted the bottom too. And I'm measuring. The theme obviously today is flowers, so I wanted to get that pretty bunch of flowers on here, so I kind of measured it. And now I'm doing a starter strip of Mod Podge. And if it's okay, I cut this a little bit bigger. Yeah, the inside of my can was still very damp with paint. Not the outside, just the inside. And the paint has to be dry in order to do this technique. So I did the starter strip And then I put it on the bottom, put the paper on it, and then I'm putting the Mod Podge on top of that. And I'm doing the same thing. And I have this fan brush because you can really get underneath the paper there. It's nice and it pushes the paper down. And then I realized, aha, I forget this quite often. Spritz your paper. Spritz, spritz, not spritz. Spritz your paper because it relaxes the fibers and you will get less wrinkling. And this technique that I am using here, I've watched a lot of people do this. I had no wrinkles in this, not one. This turned out so beautiful and it was so quick and easy. And I had the paper, I had the Mod Podge, and the tin can was free. So yeah. So I did overlap it just slightly, and you can get away with that with paper like this because it's busy. There's so much going on there and there's lines going up and down and around it and you can't tell. So now it's completely dry and I am just sanding off the extra pieces. And I lost my footage, but I did go over just around the top with some antique wax, as you can see there. I threw a pick from the Dollar Tree in there, just some greenery, and I tied a little jute bow around the middle. And look at how beautiful this is. And I just had an idea, you could put a tag on here too, and it would be super cute. Okay, last but not least, number 4. And this is a wall hanger. And here's how I made this. This is that third cardboard piece from that 3-pack from the Dollar Tree. This is from the Dollar Tree. There's some rope. I didn't use the flowers, but I have ivy. I have some ribbon. And I have this permanent vinyl from the Dollar Tree. So I'm just removing all the pieces, the raffia. I'm going to use that again too, by the way. And that center piece there, I didn't remove the sticker. I didn't finish the back of this one, but that's easy. I can just take the sticker off that. And so I want to make sure, I don't know what I'm doing here. I want to make sure, I want to see this here. I want to get all of the flower in there, but just slightly. Because I want it kind of to take up the middle. Now this I got from American Crafters, $9.99. It was, I got it for $5.99 a few months ago. And they have a vault sale going on again. It's called American Crafters or Vault Sale. They have some really good stuff. This is a circle cutter. So I'm just showing you that there's on the back there, there's that little area that holds the blades. And then there's a little clip that you put on the blade and you attach the blade to the back of it. And you can take the little measuring tool there and you unscrew it. And if you want like an 8-inch circle, you can do that, 9-inch or whatever I'm showing you here. And then you can take it out too with that little tool there and store it all in the back in the little cup here. And then you just go around in a circle like that. It was really easy. I mean, I know I could have probably taken the little gather sign off of that and just traced it, but I wanted to use my circle maker because so often I make circles and I don't have a template. So this was really nice and has a little rubber bottom so it doesn't slide around when you're going around in a circle. Anyway, enough about that. I have some really cool tools that are new that I haven't used, and this is what I'm trying to do, is use what I have. Okay. So I did trace this as you saw and I cut it out. And now I'm just going to stick it right on top of that. And again, I just made it a little bit bigger. And because this is cardboard, I was able to use hot glue on this, and it's a thicker cardboard. So you couldn't see, it didn't go through the paper or anything. So it worked really well. And now I just have this rope, and the ends have that plastic like tape on them. I'm just removing that, but then when you remove it, the ends fray. So I just take a little hot glue and stick it in there. I wait a couple seconds, and then after it cools a little bit, but it's still kind of supple, I just kind of twisted it with my fingers. If you do that, use finger protectors. And then now I'm just going to go around the edge here with the rope. And now I'm going to wrap the handle because I have that little piece of torn paper up there, so I have to hide that some way. So I thought I'm just going to take this rope. I was going to put jute up there because this rope is thicker, but the jute didn't look right because it was thinner, you know, the twine from the Dollar Tree. And so I'm just going all the way up to the top, and I'm really pressing it together. Pressing it down and pressing it together so you cannot see through it, you cannot see the paper through it. And then I thought I'm going to put some jute twine around this as well. And it looks, to me, it looks a little jagged, but it's not. That circle cutter was like perfect. It works way better than just taking it and making a circle and then cutting it out by hand, because it's just, you know, it's what would you call it? Kind of like, you know, a tool to make a perfect circle, I guess. Okay, so now I am making another awareness bow with this green ribbon, and this is from the Dollar Tree as well. I'm just redoing it. I wanted to make it a little bit bigger. And if you make one of these, here's a little hack. Just take one of these little clips, put it in there, and it'll hold it while you get your jute and cut it and tie it. And I'm going to dovetail the ends on this. And as you can see, I'm going to hot glue that on top, and then I'm going to get that little raffia piece that we took off earlier. I'm going to glue that back on. I keep a little Tupperware container for my garbage can because when I craft, I make a lot of trash. I don't know why. Just paper towel and, you know, glue webs and little pieces here and there. I don't know. I usually fill that up every time I make a video. Then I took a little button, glued that on. And then now I'm going to make a hanger, and I'm showing you, I take the twine, I put tape around it, and then I pinch it and twist it really tight, and then I take the scissors and cut it on an angle so the tape comes into a point, and it's really easy to put the beads on it. So I just put, I think 6 beads, they're dark brown beads on there. They match the button, and then I just attached it to the top there. I did tie it on, but I hot glued it as well. And this is the ivy that I use in a lot of my videos because I have a big black garbage bag full of it still. But I like it. I just, and I think it just says farmhouse. So, and this video is flowers and farmhouse. So, yeah. I just think it adds more character. And here's how this piece turned out. Let me know which one is your favorite one. And here is the whole shebang. All of the pieces I made today, plus pieces that I've made previously. And that's all I have for you today. I hope that I've inspired you. Remember to subscribe, like, share, hype, and all that good stuff. And I will be back very soon. And until then, my friends, you have a blessed week. Bye.